Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles head into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. It's an NFL preseason special tonight on ABC Sports.
The critics call it shocking and thrilling. The most talked about new show. Stephen Bochco's Cop Rock, coming this fall.
The quest, deep within, it's the desire, the drive to be the best. Is Atlanta the best place for the 1996 Olympics? Where is Atlanta in the race to win the games? September 5th, Channel 2's Chuck Dowdle and Sandra Bookman bring you Atlanta's Olympic Quest. Also in September, is there too much emphasis on passing the ball instead of passing class in Georgia high schools? Channel 2's Don Farmer, Kimberly Kennedy, and Richard Belcher host Running to Pass, a family-to-family special, September 10th on Channel 2.
I'm a Big Star grocer and proud of it. We've got 1,000 unadvertised specials each week. 1,000. We're not perfect, but we're terrific.
Arby's presents the classics. 3 classic roast beef sandwiches, each just 99 cents. There's the classic deluxe with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, just 99 cents. Add some sizzle, and you've got the classic with bacon for just 99 cents. Or take a slice at the classic with Swiss for just 99 cents. But to appreciate Arby's 99-cent classics, hurry in now, because...
3 Florida students are murdered. A live report after the game.
A foggy night, a helicopter flight. The combination proves fatal for blues guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is Entertainment Tonight for Monday, August 27th, 1990.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight. I'm John Tesh. Mary Hart is off today.
I'm Lisa Gibbons. Thank you for being here. Blues and rock guitarists Eric Clapton, Robert Cray, and Stevie Ray Vaughan wound up their concert last night in East Troy, Wisconsin, with a 3-band all-star jam of Sweet Home Chicago. Then they packed their gear and boarded 4 helicopters bound for Chicago's O'Hare Airport. The helicopter carrying Vaughan crashed moments after liftoff. There were no survivors. Stevie Ray Vaughan and 3 members of Eric Clapton's entourage, Clapton's agent, a tour manager, and bodyguard, were killed this morning when their helicopter crashed into a field shortly after leaving the Alpine Valley Music Theater in Wisconsin.
The wreckage was scattered over a considerable amount of area.
Vaughan, known for songs like Caught in the Crossfire and Pride and Joy, and for his battered Stratocaster guitar, was considered by many as one of the finest blues guitarists of his generation. The Grammy winner was not a regular part of the Eric Clapton tour, but was added to the Alpine Valley show Saturday and Sunday. According to a spokesman, Vaughan requested the one available seat on the Chicago-bound helicopter, saying, "I really need to get back." Vaughan, born 35 years ago in Dallas, Texas, had developed a rocking roadhouse style that earned him wide respect and legions of fans. He said the blues was his inspiration.
Made me feel good because it excited me.
Vaughan was to start a European tour next week. Today, Eric Clapton said, "Bobby Brooks, Nigel Brown, Colin Smith, and Stevie Ray Vaughan were my companions, my associates, and my friends." He went on to say, "This is a tragic loss of some very special people. I will miss them all very much. I want to extend my deepest sympathies to their families."
31 years ago, the music world was stunned by news of another crash. It was in Iowa, not Wisconsin, and it was an airplane instead of a helicopter. Among the victims on that day in 1959, the Big Bopper, Ritchie Valens, and Buddy Holly. In years since, Holly's lore and legend have propelled him to bigger-than-life stardom, but he is still mourned as just Buddy by his friends and loved ones. That's our inside story for today. His success as a recording artist lasted less than 2 years, but in that short time, Buddy Holly scored an astounding 8 top 40 hits and created a legend that is stronger today than at any time since his tragic death 31 years ago in a plane crash. While the entire world has missed out on what might have been, his loss is most keenly felt by his widow, Maria Elena.
Just you know why.
They were married just 6 months before his death, after Holly proposed on the day they first met. pregnant at the time of the crash, she lost the baby soon after. She would later remarry, but says her attachment to Buddy's memory led to divorce, and she remains single today. She says dealing with his death is as hard today as it ever was.
I didn't go to the services. I didn't go to the funeral. I just did not want to have any connection between Buddy and death. So I wanted to, in a way, I guess I wanted to remember Buddy as I saw him last, not what had happened.
Sometimes we'll sigh.
I had to go through a lot of therapy. And as you can see, still, it's very hard.
But the legend of Buddy Holly still lives on. In London, the hottest musical of the season is one based on his life. It's been a multi-generational smash, according to its star, actor Paul Hipp.
I saw, like, from 7 to 70 up dancing. I mean, it's not just all the blue rinses and, you know, the people that were there then. There's young kids coming in and seeing the show, and it's just like they're discovering this music.
In this country, Clear Lake, Iowa, the town where his plane crashed, remembers him with a parade. Fan clubs hold national conventions, and his belongings have been sold at auction for over $1 million. In fact, actor Gary Busey, who played Holly on screen, paid over $240,000 for this guitar alone. That his star still shines brightly is no surprise to J.I. Allison. He was a member of Buddy's band, the Crickets, and says Holly always knew that he would go very far.
He was real confident he was going to make it. I think Sonny Curtis asked him one time, said, well, how long is it going to take you to make it, Buddy? You know, make it, whatever that means. And Buddy said, about as long as it took Elvis. You know, that's how confident he was.
Along with Elvis, he was one of the major influences on the rock music of the 60s. The Beatles, Rolling Stones, even Bob Dylan all acknowledged his contribution. And Waylon Jennings, whose first single was produced by Holly, is convinced that had he lived, he still would be performing today.
He would be the Frank Sinatra of rock and roll, you know, forever. You know, Buddy would have been here forever because he had a spark, an enthusiasm, and a love for music that would have never grown old.
If he were still with us and a superstar of rock, as Waylon Jennings said, Buddy Holly would have been celebrating his 54th birthday next week. On our Inside Story tomorrow, pregnant in prime time. What happens on the set when the star begins acting for two?
It's cute, the amount of attention I get. And I think a lot of people were surprised, so I guess so they would say to me things like, well, I guess I don't need to ask you what you were doing over the summer.
On Primetime TV, everything changes when the star gets pregnant. The Inside Story tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, Emilio and Charlie put a lid on sibling rivalry to make a movie together. And later, Tony Danza answers when they ask who's the boss on a new TV movie.
It's easy to clean your front teeth, but to really clean those hard-to-reach back teeth, you can either get a flip-top head or get the Reach toothbrush. The Reach toothbrush has an angled neck to clean those hard-to-reach back teeth. Reach, the clean teeth toothbrush. Now, Reach also comes in 4 knockout neon colors. Reach. Now the cooler clean teeth toothbrush.
Look what your mom brought us.
A little Country Crock.
It's Country Crock trial size.
Isn't that for people who haven't tried it?
Well, I think Mom wanted to remind us about a little one.
A little Country Crock?
I don't think so.
Oh. Oh.
Introducing Shed Spread Country Crock Trial Size. If you've never tasted it before, now you can try that rich, buttery taste for just 39 cents.
There's a lot of taste in this little crock.
Maybe we should work on a little one.
A little Country Crock?
I don't think so.
Oh.
How would you like to meet a handsome model? A hunk. Always ready for fun, yet dependable, and ready to take you out anytime? Well, here you go. A good-looking Civic hatchback. And listen, your North Georgia Honda dealer's having a giant clearance sale right now, and prices start at way under $7,000. And the selection is super. Civic sedans, wagons, and Accords, too. And lots of colors, all at irresistible prices. See your North Georgia Honda dealer soon. Your model's waiting.
My story isn't like a lot of the other stories. I didn't have 85 or 100 pounds to lose. I lost 30 pounds. Jenny Craig really helped me put all the pieces together. It helped to have this team that I was now part of that was supporting me. The best thing about being thin is knowing that people aren't looking at you because you look bad. They're looking at you because you look good.
Final weeks of our summer special. Lose all the weight you want for only a $79 service fee. Final weeks. Call now.
The #1 movie this weekend was Darkman, according to our estimates. The movie earned $8.3 million at the box office in its opening weekend. Ghost was second for the third weekend in a row. And Flatliners, Presumed Innocent, and My Blue Heaven round out the top 5. Moviegoers also had their first chance to see Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez in Men at Work. The brothers have starred together before, but this time, Emilio was calling the shots, and it took some adjustment on both their parts.
Warm sun, beautiful women, and the air is just right for drinking.
Emilio and brother Charlie are beachside garbage men by day and peeping Toms by night in Men at Work, until a dead body shows up on their route and spoils all the fun.
Look, Louis, we gotta talk. See, Louis, Carl sort of knows this guy. So? I don't know him at all. What I'm trying to say is he shot him with a pellet gun. But he thought he hit him in the butt. I did hit him in the butt.
Emilio wrote and directed the film and says Charlie made the enormous task easier for him.
He's really like a sponge when it comes to directing him, because he would take direction and just spit it right back out at me, and it would be right. His instincts are really right on. Oh, you and your stupid pellet gun!
People think, and I get the question, what was it like taking orders from your brother? And it wasn't that kind of a deal. It was very much teamwork thing, you know, where we would come to decisions and creative ideas that we'd decide on together and then put on film.
With 2 films to his credit, Emilio says directing is his top priority these days.
I feel compelled to do it. I cannot not do it, if you will. I had and have stories to tell, and don't trust them in the hands of anybody else. Golf clap? Golf clap.
By the way, Men at Work opened in 7th place, according to our estimates.
The new Chuck Norris film, Delta Force 2, also opened this weekend. It did not break into the top 10, finishing 11th. In it, Billy Drago plays a vicious drug lord, far cry from the sensitive guys he played when he was a struggling actor off-Broadway. But Drago's learned that it pays to be bad.
I have my own ways of dealing with traitors.
Billy Drago is the meanest drug baron on 3 continents in the new movie, Delta Force 2.
You know I would die for you. I am very glad to hear that, Miguel.
When the DEA can't stop him, Chuck Norris launches a daring mission to bring him to justice.
You're never gonna get out of this alive.
Drago relished playing the villain.
I love playing the heavies. You get, I figured out a way to get paid for doing what they'd throw me in jail outside.
In democracy, great.
The gravelly-voiced actor has made a career out of playing bad guys in movies such as The Untouchables, Pale Rider, and Invasion USA. Now, with his latest evil role topping the list, Drago admits this screen persona has been hard on his family.
Gets to my mother, I'll tell you that. She lives in a little town in Kansas. A lot of the residents called my mom up, and they said, "What happened? He was such a nice boy when he went to school here." So they take it all kind of seriously down there. But she finally told him, well, he does that better than anybody else. So thank you, Mom.
Drago performed many of his own stunts in Delta Force 2. Says he learned those skills early in his career when he worked in a Western theme show at Dodge City.
It may seem like only yesterday, but it was 10 years ago tomorrow that Joan London made her debut as co-host on Good Morning America. We're going to take you back now to see how it all started.
Hi, I'm Joan London from Fair Oaks, California, and this is my daughter, Jamie. Good morning, America.
Back in 1980, when David Hartman first introduced Joan London, she was all smiles, but underneath, she was a wreck. She was a new mother with a new job, and she had to prove herself.
This is an interesting industry. Where do you learn? You learn by doing it. And in my case, that means you have to learn in front of millions and millions of people.
London was forced to roll with the punches, a tough assignment, since she was initially considered nothing more than David Hartman's sidekick.
I'm not telling you that I didn't have moments of frustration. that I didn't get angry because I had nothing to do. But I was able to hang in there with the hopes that it would grow one day. And it did.
It's grown to the point that she and her current co-host Charlie Gibson share equal responsibilities on the show. This survivor of morning television, who has anchored from the slopes of Yugoslavia to the hills of Ireland, says she has done it all with the same smile that got her through her first day on the job some 10 years ago.
I've always had that ability somehow to pull it off. I don't know how, but...
Joan remembers the advice Barbara Walters gave her when she began with Good Morning America. Walters told her to do a good job with the little bit they give you, and if you shine, they'll give you more. London has been very successful following that advice.
Robert Urich wants you to become a better driver, so he's at the wheel of a primetime special geared to help you find out how you can do that. So fire up that remote control and follow along.
Okay, let's make a pit stop and see how you're doing before we go into the final lap of the driving test.
The celebrity-filled special is a quick quiz for viewers on the rules of the road, rules which Urich says many drivers have forgotten.
One of my pet peeves of all time is bad and discourteous driving. It's just, and I've lived in some places where it's been pretty bad, and it just seems that if everybody was polite and took their time a little bit and followed the rules, that, you know, it'd just be a much more pleasant place to live in.
You're passing a large tractor trailer and pull over as soon as you clear the front of it. Suddenly, the pickup truck in front of you slams on his brakes.
Points are scored on the driving test by correctly answering questions about everyday traffic situations. Celebrities, including Danny Glover, Fred Dreyer, and football's Lyle Alzado, provide safety tips as well.
I wouldn't go on a football field without a helmet, and I don't go running in city traffic without a helmet either.
And Urich says scoring well on the test could keep you alive.
When I think about all the stuff I've done in terms of movies and series, and this could be maybe the most significant in terms of how it can affect people's lives. I mean, I've done a lot of entertaining things and some things that are probably borderline, but this kind of programming, I think, is very, very valuable.
And the National Driving Test will air tomorrow night on CBS.
Since the dawn of man has had an appetite for steak. So man has always had to hunt to find the perfect steak, the perfect way to cook it, the perfect way to eat it. Now the hunt is over. Introducing McDonald's grilled steak sandwich with sautéed onions, mushrooms, and tangy sauce on a toasted roll. A civilized way to satisfy your savage hunger. But only for a limited time, and then it's back to the hunt for steak. McDonald's food, folks and fun.
Stop the money. Mitsubishi's inventive clearance is over. Well, not quite yet. There's still time to get $2,000 cash back on selected Gallants and Monteros named Best Buys in their class, or $2,000 back on Mighty Max 4x4. Pickup truck of the year. Oops, all gone. Well, not quite yet. So hurry down or there won't be any cash left. And this time I'm quite serious.
$2,000 cash back at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer now.
I went to Bobby Luderman's party. I had the best time. His mom made potatoes that were so curly. They were the most fun. Marjorie found one that was a mile long. I asked Bobby's mom what kind of potatoes they were. They were new, or I hit a golden twirl. I told his mom it was the best party I ever went to.
A little bit, people be up running, no time for a good cooked breakfast, but you know you really do have time. You can make Jimmy Dean sausage and biscuits quicker than you can make toast. So why not have a breakfast that you didn't even think you had time for? You know, when we first introduced Jimmy Dean mini burgers, had no idea they would become as popular as they are. Most everywhere we sell them, we sell more than anybody else.
Jimmy Dean mini burgers.
Now, at the Magic Kingdom, Mickey's Starland. At Epcot Center, it's Captain EO in 3D. The exciting Body Wars ride. The fury of the Maelstrom. And now, the Disney MGM Studios theme park with Star Tours. The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. And the Muppets. For information or reservations, call 1-407-WDisney.
As the star of the long-running ABC series Who's the Boss, Tony Danza has a lot of clout. Now he has a new project, a TV movie called The Whereabouts of Jenny. And everyone there calls him boss, but it has nothing to do with acting.
Must I be the perennial funmeister who drags you out of your sullen states and leads you down that road to Smile Town?
He may be the family funmeister on the hit series Who's the Boss, but for an upcoming TV movie, the title is executive producer.
Wait, you see my chair? You saw my chair. Okay, I'm ready.
As an executive producer, Danza was responsible for finding the script, selling it to the network, then hiring key members of the production team, including the director and the stars, Married with Children's Ed O'Neill and Mike Farrell. He also has to complete the film on time and on budget.
You really are nervous because, you know, you want to do a good job. You want to show you can do it, and you want to see if you can. I mean, I think a little bit of both. Pretty good, boys.
Even though this is a tense drama, Danza keeps the mood upbeat, constantly joking with the crew.
How funny. I'm on videotape tonight. I got clothes hanging off my clothes. If everybody's having a good time, that sort of transmits across the screen, and it... I just think that if we come in here and yell at people and try to get it done that way, it's not going to work.
Danza says one benefit of his new position is getting the chance to learn more about movie making.
I'm just really trying to get an education through this, you know. It's really... the great part of being the executive producer is that you can ask anybody anything and they have to answer.
But he admits there's one drawback to being behind the camera.
It's hard, you know, you're not the center of attention, which is something I've been known to like.
In addition to Who's the Boss, Danza will be the baby's voice in Baby Talk, ABC's spin-off of the hit movie Look Who's Talking. The new show will be a mid-season replacement.
When it came to the colors red, white, and blue, there was one movie-making process that was an American triumph. Now, if you want to recreate those vivid colors, it takes a trip to China. Leonard Maltin has the details on all of this for us. Leonard.
Well, John, I'm a big fan of those old Technicolor movies from the 30s and 40s. They used to call the process glorious Technicolor back then, and it was rich and vivid and fun to watch. Well, in the 1970s, the Technicolor company decided to change that process to one that was faster and more economical. And they sold their patented system to a lab in mainland China. So now, if you want to make copies of a film in that old-fashioned glorious Technicolor, you have to go to China, and that's just what one man did.
Alien terrorists?
Yeah. They landed in the 30s, and now they're back for revenge.
This may seem like just another grade B science fiction adventure yarn. It's called Space Avenger. But look more closely, and you'll notice an unusual quality to the color. It's bright and rich, like an old Hollywood movie. That's because director and co-producer Richard Haynes went all the way to Beijing to make his prints.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Extremely vivid colors. It looks basically like a James Bond film from the 60s. Very saturated, vivid colors.
And Haynes says his dealings with the Chinese lab technicians couldn't have been better.
Oh, they're very nice. They're all bilingual. They're all experts in this, and they're very, very concerned with quality. Every single print is checked, and if it doesn't come out exactly as you want it, it's thrown away.
It was back in 1934 that the Technicolor company showed off its newly perfected color process in a short called La Cucaracha. In one scene, actor Paul Percazzi gets so angry, he's literally red in the face. Technicolor soon became a mark of prestige, but it was difficult to work with, in part because it required a lot of very hot lights on the set, as Technicolor musical veteran Vivian Blaine recalls.
The studio had just made me a redhead, and they sat in the projection room. They were happy with the first day. They were happy with the second day. Third day, they began to think something was funny. The fourth day, they were sure of it. Zanuck ran onto the set and said, "What are you doing? She's not matching." What had happened was that the lights were so strong and so intense that it had changed, they had changed the color of my hair.
It may have been hot, but it was worth the effort. Nothing looks quite like that glorious Technicolor.
And now glorious Technicolor is back, so long as you can afford a trip to Beijing to get it.
We often refer to Leonard as the glorious Leonard Maltin.
That's right. Thank you, Leonard. The Insider buys a seat on a bus ride down memory lane when we come back.
My bologna has a first name. It's Joey.
Joey.
My bologna.
Hey, Joey.
What?
Your bologna's missing something.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's not. Taste it.
Is so, is so.
It's not. It's not. I eat it all the time.
Not this bologna. This is Oscar Mayer's new light bologna. It has a third less fat. But since it tastes so great, Joey will never know what he's missing.
Nothing's missing.
This is Monica Kaufman. The latest on the investigation into the murder of 3 University of Florida co-eds. Live from Gainesville, plus guest news from Iraqi TV after the game.
You ever
ever notice when most pizza places in Atlanta cut you a deal on 2 pizzas, what really gets cut is the toppings? Well, at Pizza Hut, you can get 1 medium cheese pizza for just $6.99, 2 for just $9.99, and they'll heap your favorite toppings on both for one low price. So why settle for skimpy pizza pairs when you can get Atlanta's favorite pizza pairs?
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Once upon a time, there was an incredible vegetable, the green giant mushroom. It did amazing things for food. The giant picked only the mushrooms plump enough to make pasta perfect, juicy enough to make spaghetti sumptuous, and salads scrumptious. Soon, people added the giant's mushrooms to chicken, burgers, stew, gravy, and people ate happily ever after.
Because Green Giant mushrooms give everything a lift.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
Right now, your Mitsubishi Motors dealer is offering real bargains on selected low-mileage, well-maintained 89 and 90 models of Galant, Mirage, and Montero. Oh, with low down payments, lower finance rates, lower monthly payments, and up to 60-month financing. All are covered for the remainder of the original warranty, too. Incentives to buy pre-owned Mitsubishis have never been higher. So come see for yourself at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer today.
Air transportation furnished and a promotional fee paid by Delta Airlines. Delta has ranked first in passenger satisfaction among all major U.S. airlines for 16 straight years. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Celebrating a birthday today, actor Paul Rubens, better known as Pee Wee Herman, turns 38. Actor Charles Fleischer is 40. Actress Barbara Bach, 41. Actress Tuesday Weld is 47. And actress Martha Raye is 74.
Well, they both run on gasoline, roll on tires, and carried famous people, but the ET Insider is here to tell you about 2 vehicles that are worlds apart in every other category, the Pope Mobile and Ken Kesey's Day-Glo bus. The Pope Mobile, a bulletproof Range Rover that carried Pope John Paul on his 1982 tour of Britain, is going on the auction block next month in London. It is expected to bring about $50,000. Now, to Ken Kesey's bus, made famous in Tom Wolfe's book, The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. That was the story of the wild cross-country bus ride taken by the Merry Pranksters, led by Kesey and paid for by profits from his then new book, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Well, look out, America. They're about to try it again, this time joined by LSD guru Timothy Leary and Gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson. According to Time magazine, they are due to leave Oregon next month, headed for Washington, D.C. If they make it, the bus may become an exhibit at the Smithsonian. The Insider points out the people aboard are already institutions, so perhaps they should be put on display along with that darn bus.
Lovers of great twosomes, you know, Bogey and Bacall, Peaches and Cream, Romeo and Juliet, Sugar and Spice. You can now add another famous pair, Mathau and Mozart.
In Beverly Hills, Walter Matthau acted as guest conductor for the Beverly Hills Symphony. The music was Mozart, and the composer has no bigger fan than Matthau.
Mozart sort of is like the molecules in the air and the air itself. You need it, I need it in order to survive.
In Denver, MTV revved up for a maximum speed Sunday in conjunction with the first Denver Grand Prix. Motley Crue's Vince Neil was the celebrity champion, and he revealed his secret for winning races.
The aerodynamics of the integrated speaker system inside the car, which really did it for me.
And at Topanga Canyon in Los Angeles, fans of 60s psychedelic rock flocked to a festival billed as the hippy-dippy-trippy psychedelic summer of the 90s.
There's some music I recognize.
Yeah, that was hippy-dippy-trippy psycho
All that
summer.
stuff. That's it for us.
We're going to close a tribute to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Here he is with one of his biggest hits, Crossfire. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Only one city will win the bid for the 1996 Summer Olympics. Will it be Athens, Melbourne, Toronto? Could it be Atlanta? Join Channel 2 sports anchor Chuck Dowdle and news anchor Sandra Bookman for a look at Atlanta's efforts to bring the games home. Size up the competition and find out what experts are saying about Atlanta's chances to win the world's most prestigious sporting event. Watch Atlanta's Olympic Quest, Wednesday at 8 here on Channel 2.